Hi, this is a guide for speedrunning 1-4 Poisonous Appointment in LEGO Batman the Video Game. So for this level, I've split some of the rooms into beginner and advanced routes because there are some tricks in this level that are really difficult. This is probably one of the hardest, probably the hardest level in the game. And so by doing the beginner route, you can learn the rest of the run and get some runs done without worrying about these really difficult kind of big reset points in the run. It's also important to note that because I've done beginner and advanced routes for individual rooms, there's nothing stopping you doing the beginner route for room 4 and doing the advanced route for room 2. In fact, that's probably recommended because I'd recommend that you learn plant skip and the room 2 advanced route before you learn the end skip at the end of the level. Okay, so for this first room, we're going to start with both players dropped in from the previous level. And once we start the room, we're going to skip the cutscene and then immediately jump roll with both players. And then we can drop out Robin and switch to him. We only need Robin for this room. We want to get a boost from those goons like that. And then jump here. And when you're down here, you're going to want to Control-Alt-Delete because you should have buffered VSync off in 1-2. And you're going to want to turn it back on now. So Control-Delete like that. And then you're going to jump on top of these two plants here, over here, come into this corner here. So once we're in this corner here, we're going to want to do room 1 skip. And in order to do this, so you want to avoid having many goons here. You want to be kind of quick getting into this corner, because if there are goons, they can really mess up your setup. But you're going to want to be in this corner, standing still. And then you're going to lag with Control-Delete. And then you're going to hold up left on the... No, not yet. So you're going to escape this Control-Delete menu, and then immediately go back into the Control-Delete menu, like this. So it should be really quick. You shouldn't see the game for much time at all. And then you're going to hold up left on the D-pad and close the menu again, and you should have clipped with the wall. I didn't there because the goon was messing with me. Another reason you won't clip is if you don't do the 2 Control-Deletes fast enough. Okay, that time I just did 1 Control-Delete. There we go. This should work. Yep, like that. So, Control-Delete, escape, very quickly Control-Delete again. Hold up left on the D-pad and escape again, and you should go through this wall. Okay, so once we're in the next room, I'll go through the beginner strat first. So for the beginner strat, immediately double jump, because you want to double jump at the start of every room, because you can do a jump roll before you get control of your player, and that saves a tiny bit of time. Only do it if the player's facing the right direction, but in this level it's always fast, because the player's always facing the right direction. So at the start of this room, we're going to come here, and you can just stand down here, it doesn't really matter. And you're going to BDJ, you're going to target this plant, and you're going to BDJ off of the batarang coming back to get over this plant. In the advanced route, I'll show a quicker way of getting over those plants, but since this is the beginner route, I just decided to show the beginner method. There's no reason you can't do the advanced method and then do the rest of the room with the beginner route. I just decided to show it like this. So anyway, for the beginner route, we're going to come over here to these plants, and we're going to target this goon and whatever goons appear down here, and we're going to get another BDJ over the plant. And then what we're going to want to do is kill all of the goons in here, and break all of these Lego objects to get the tracksuit. So when I say all of these, you're going to actually want to leave at least one Lego object somewhere, because otherwise you're going to get stuck in this room. Oh no, I think I might have got stuck in the room. Do what I say, not what I do. But anyway, we're going to want to build this tracksuit like this, and from here you can actually kick jump into the tracksuit to be a little bit faster. And then you're going to want to BDJ out of this room using some Lego object that should be in here. I haven't left any. Let's see if I can use this goon. Nope. So don't do this. Leave at least one Lego object. I just used lift player to get out. So now for this next bit of the room, we're going to want to get 25 Lego pieces in the tracksuit in order to build the bomb at the end of the room. So we're going to break this plant, get all the pieces from it. The goons can be a little bit annoying in this level, so probably just kill them. Yep, so those 2 plants have pieces. This plant has pieces. Really? This plant has Lego pieces. and these two plants have Lego pieces. And the final 3 Lego pieces we're going to need are just over here. You kind of can't really see them, but they are always there. And then we've got 25 pieces to use in this machine. So once we've built the bomb, we're going to want to come down here to avoid the explosion. And then you're just going to want to walk through the door as it opens. So that was the beginner route for that room. But there is also an advanced route, so we'll go through that now. And this advanced route should save about a minute over that route, but it does require a plant skip, which is a very difficult skip. So when we start this room, I'm going to spawn in as Batman, but you should be Robin, so I'll just switch to him. Double jump. And then for the more advanced way of getting over this plant, you're going to want to jump into this corner like this. And then you're going to want to wall jump very close to where you are at the moment to get over this plant. It's going to look like that. In order to do this, you want to very quickly move away from the wall and then back towards the wall after you jump. So not like that, like that. This can take some practice, but it is pretty consistent. So once you've done that, don't punch that goon, you'll just want to run all the way to the end of the room. And the goons, depending on where they are, you can get different boosts like that. So once we're over here, we're going to target the plant. We're going to BDJ on top of this door, come to the right side of the door, then we're going to very slowly move down the door, and then once we start sliding, we're going to tap up and pull out the batarang. Like that. And then once we're on the floor, we're going to lag, and then move up and escape. Yeah, so that's something that can happen sometimes. So that either happened because I was too close inwards to the wall or too far away from the wall. So you want to kind of time when you pull out the batarang as you're sliding down here. It's very much a feel thing, it's quite a difficult skip. So yeah, there again, I've done it wrong. So I'll end up with this jumpy thing. Sometimes when you get this weird jumping thing, you can still go through the wall, like that. But it does lose time because you're just jumping everywhere and you're going to have to Control-Alt-Delete at a weird moment. So I'll try and get the proper skip. Last time I recorded this, I wasn't recording volume, but I got this 3 times in a row perfectly fine. So that's just my luck, I guess. There we go. That looks good. Nope, it doesn't. Great fun. There we go. That's what it should look like. So now for this room, it's going to be the same for players of all skill levels. So you're going to want to double jump at the start of the room, and then come down here, and jump off of the side of this metal rim here. And so if you miss that and you end up in the water, you can just jump onto the side here and jump up. And then you're going to want to jump along here. And if you've been fast enough at the start of this room, this pod plant should have its lid shut, so you can just jump on top of it, then do a jump roll onto that leaf there, and keep holding A whilst you're on the leaf, so that when you walk to the end of the leaf, you get a high jump like that. And you want to come up here, and then we're going to do a kick jump towards that little pyramid thing down there. It's like this thing here, and that's going to get us across this gap. So you want to kick jump kind of as late as possible, and you want to make sure you're holding towards this little pyramid thing. Another thing you can do there is if you want to save a little tiny bit of time, but this is very difficult, you want to time a jump roll instead of a kick jump, and that saves the little bit of time you spend in the weird kick jump animation like that. So going into the next room, the first thing we want to do, switch to Batman, and then go back into the previous room again, because by reloading this next room, there's going to be a bit of collision that spawns at the end. So if you're doing the beginner route and you're just going to do the boss fight of this level, you don't need to reload the room like that. But if you want to do the advanced DN skip, which is one of the hardest tricks in the game, probably the hardest, you'll need to reload that room. Well, you don't need to, but it's best to reload that room to get a bit of collision. I'll show you what to do if you forget to reload the room. But yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. So for this room, double jump as you get into it, and then come over here to these 2 metal cylinders, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a lag clip on top of the right metal cylinder. So you're going to want to jump at it, and you're going to want to time a lag so that you go into the lag menu just before you land on the metal cylinder. So I can't tell you the exact timing for this because everyone's kind of lag. Their control delete comes out at a different time. It's a bit weird. It depends on like your PC. But you're going to want to time it so that you go into the menu just before you land on the silver cylinder. So like that. This might not work actually. But then once you get back into the game, you're going to want to hold kind of towards the wall and jump. Yeah, so there I didn't get it. Now I'm not going to get it either. Oh god. Yep, like that. So sometimes you'll hit this trigger like that, but sometimes you'll clip through, and you'll clip through like that, and you won't hit the trigger, so you just walk into the next room. It's faster to hit the trigger because your load remover will time that little bit of time in the transition out, but it doesn't really matter if you don't. So for the start of this room, don't bother killing those goons. We're just going to want to target this door here, and we're going to BJ onto this pipe here, and then jump across onto this pipe. So you'll notice here I have a lot of coins. That's because I did the beginner route in the second room. But if you did plant skip in the second room, then you should have less than 1,000 coins, which means you can get rid of all your coins by just jumping into the goop here. And that saves about 4 seconds in the status screen at the end of the level. So after that, you want to come down here. And now I'll show the beginner route first. So for the beginner route, you don't need this bit of collision here, like I was saying earlier. You're just going to break these plants, build this turnstile. You can actually walk through this turnstile a bit. And then you're going to just go into the boss fight. So this boss fight, we're going to 1p2c it. So we're going to drop in Robin, and we're just going to target these goon things, and we're going to kill them as soon as they spawn in, pretty much, because they limit how fast you get these bombs. So we're going to build a bomb, throw a batarang at it to explode it faster. Okay, I messed that up there, I think, I don't know. But we're going to keep killing the goons as fast as possible. Here you can target these like singular goons with both players to like immediately kill them like that. And then you can build this second bomb here, blow up this, and now Poison Ivy is going to come out of the plant, so you're just going to take whatever player she targets and hold Batarang with it, and that'll just get her stuck like that, so you don't have to worry about her. Keep killing goons with Robin, and once this final bomb is built, once the final bomb, all the pieces are there, you can build it, and then I can never get a target on that bomb, but it doesn't really matter. And then you're going to time 4 punches on Poison Ivy to avoid giving her iframes, like that. So you want to leave about half-second gaps between them, and then the boss fight should end. Okay, so now for the advanced route. So this route requires DN skip, and DN skip is one of the hardest skips in the game, probably the hardest. And so I would recommend not learning this until you've learned all the other skips in the game and until you need the time save from this, because it really does suck. Right, so to get started, you're going to want to jump on this bit of collision here that would have appeared if you reloaded the room, and then jump back up onto this plant here. If you don't have this bit of collision, because you forgot to reload the room, it happens to be quite a lot, you can just target this plant and BDJ up onto this plant here. Oh, I missed there. Yeah, that's why you want this collision here, because if you miss that BDJ, then you've got to use targets all the way over here and it loses a load of time. So you want to reload the room, spawn that collision, jump up here, and now what you're going to do is you're going to pull out the batarang whilst in this corner. Sometimes it can take a bit of time. Oh, there we go, got it. If you end up like clipping halfway down and then letting go, you can just pull out your batarang again to go all the way down, like you saw there. If you like stuck on top of the plant and you just can't pull the batarang out, you can try like shifting around a bit, but it is pretty much just random whether or not you get it. Okay, to actually do DN skip, we're going to start by doing a setup that's going to land us on a bit of collision that's slightly out of bounds. So in order to start this, press Ctrl Delete. Now you're in the Ctrl Delete menu, hold right on the D-pad, hold jump, and then press escape to go back into the game, and immediately once you're back into the game, you want to pause. You don't want to pause so early that you don't get the clip at all, but you also don't want to pause too late, because then the setup won't work. Now that you're paused here, keep holding right on the D-pad, and you're going to want to do a pause buffer. So this is double tapping the pause button on your controller, not pressing A and then pressing the pause button. And you want to do this with a certain timing, so if you do it too quickly or too slowly, you'll just end up missing the setup and folding or clipping back in bounds. Now do 3 more pause buffers, holding upright on the D-pad. Unpause and you should land on a bit of collision out of bounds. If you clip back in bounds, you can either drop in player 2 and try and get Batman unstuck, or you can go into the boss fight and just do the boss fight as normal. If you land in the perfect spot, then you'll be standing perfectly still and your respawn point will be set for the next part of the skip. However, sometimes you can land on a bit of slopey collision that'll try and push you off, and if this happens, you can try and jump and do the next part of the skip as fast as possible, but you won't get a respawn. For this next part, you want to pay close attention to my controller display. In order to hit the trigger, you'll want to jump sort of to the right, and then at a certain point, double jump and curve around back into the trigger. And that's it for this level. Thanks for watching, and please remember that this is a very difficult level, so don't get bogged down with any of the skips, and just keep practicing.